Hi moviegoers, hola cinéfilos, this is Siddhartha, soy yo nuevamente Siddhartha. Um, for this regular movie um, review and regular video uploading, so here we go. So, nuevamente soy yo Siddhartha. Para el canal Cines de Perspectiva, el video, el canal con reseñas, opiniones, comentarios e información de cine con cierta mirada. So, first of all, let me share you this look at close up at my t-shirt. It's definitely T'Challa as Black Panther. It's groovy. It's awesome. I recommend you to try out the Toon Line t-shirt brand. It's Mexican probably, and it's very good. Es Estoy mostrándoles un vistazo a Toon Line, mi camiseta Toon Line de Pantera Negra especialmente para la ocasión. Me enorgullece veras porque está muy padre y es mexicana. Okay, so we're going to talk about straightforward, al grano de Pantera Negra. Y creo yo lo voy a poder hacer breve. Hablando punto por punto, puntualmente los puntos en favor y en contra. So okay, let's get to it. But before that, please subscribe on the button below to be part of this channel, and on the bell to be notified when I upload videos. Suscríbanse y en la campanita, por favor, ya saben. Así que bueno, okay. 1 minute and something, here we go. Ok, estoy usando este póster, este afiche que viene a continuación para ayudarme a ilustrarles los puntos que luego inmediatamente me van a ayudar a explicarles los puntos que contra favor. So this poster is going to help me illustrate my points, okay? First of all, point number 1, to me, okay? The characters, okay? In which order? In the one which follows, en el que sigue. To begin with, para empezar, uno que no aparece aquí, pero es una parte clave de la historia, a very important part of the story, which is, or whom is more likely to be said, apparently 3 characters in the movie that show up in the same way that happened in Captain America Civil War, which has plenty to do in the Black Panther movie. 3 characters, I think, no, 4 or something, but always very mysterious, always very fascinating way to begin to tell the story, more like an anecdote that happened at some very uncertain point in time, que comienza siempre como en cierto modo misterioso y como una anécdota que pasa en algún momento que parecía reciente, that seemed recently. Those characters are, as I understand them, T'Challa's father, another 2 characters, because I don't want to spoil you the movie, no les quiero perder la película con spoilers. Y es otros 2 personajes que tienen que ver muy cerca son muy cercanos a el primer Pantera Negra, me parece, o uno de los, más bien, perdón, el papá de T'Challa, digámoslo así. See, yeah, so T'Challa's father is definitely in this very first scene, along with a very close person to T'Challa's father, okay? Okay, so that is the beginning of the movie, and he's going to be taken under arrest to be taken back to their homeworld of Wakanda for a trial. This is as much as I can tell you, and this is very interesting. I have to address it. Necesitaba explicarles bien lo interesante que ya comienza a ser desde ahí, porque este personaje que aparece al principio, que es alguien muy cercano al papá de T'Challa, al papá de T'Challa, entonces pues es arrestado y llevado a Wakanda por un acto que cometió como algo ilegal de Wakanda. Porque no quiero, estoy tratando, es un poquito truculento, usar palabras que ilustren un poco mejor y explicarles uno de los puntos que me gustaron de la película para empezar narrativamente, y así ir llevándolos al hilo. And it's a little tricky to explain to you, without spoilers, what did I like about the movie, point by point. So straightforward, that way. Okay, second point. Now the characters that which you see, you immediately see T'Challa, known as Black Panther, and straightforward. He's one of the best characters. I like the character, really. I really do. I think Marvel. I know some people don't agree with. They're not gonna agree with this point of view, but Marvel certainly has created very interesting folks in their cinematographic universe. T'Challa is one of the most fascinating, interesting individuals in the Marvel universe. He has a complexity, and the way they construct certain complexities and stuff that I'm going to get to a little further. Así que T'Challa es, para mí, desde mi perspectiva, uno de los personajes fascinantes como superhéroes, con una complejidad bien interesante, como superhéroe y ser humano en el universo cinematográfico de Marvel. Y observando el póster está obviamente la hermanita de pues de T'Challa, y la verdad es que sí, es un personaje muy inteligente y también muy brillante. So T'Challa's sister is a very bright and very smart and very wisecracking character. I really, I think I really cracked up. I really laughed at the moments, very time-wise moments, in which she tells these wisecracking jokes and comments to point out some kind of truth or something like that. And I think that is beautiful. The way they did the work they did with the characters, the way they work with them, and the actors work with their characters, it's just remarkable. Lupita Nyong'o, of course, she definitely, I like that. She's one of the women which have a very interesting, very key point character. Her role is interesting. This is part of what the strongest points of the movie are, and really, I mean, Lupita Nyong'o here has a very key role in the movie. She really isn't like the lady that has to wait to be rescued or saved. She has a very interesting key role. Yeah, and I like that she's very proactive in the movie. She isn't waiting to be saved, okay? Así que Lupita Nyong'o, nuestra paisana, de ascendencia africana, pues no es la damisela en apuros, que está capturada y espera que la rescaten. Precisamente es un personaje proactivo que juega un rol clave, importante dentro de la trama. Y la otra es esta mujer, no me acuerdo el nombre del personaje, que es la líder de las... Discúlpeme si no me acuerdo bien de los personajes, pero de los guardias reales, que son mujeres aguerridas, de personalidad, disciplinadas, para defender a Wakanda y al rey en turno. Entonces, híjole, la actriz que la hace la líder está muy bien. Me gusta el personaje, cómo juega su rol dentro de todo esto, los conflictos que llega a atravesar el personaje por cierto personaje que no voy a revelar. So yeah, the Royal Guard, the leader of the Royal Guards, I'm sorry if I can't remember the names of the characters or the actors. or some of the actors. But to address them well, the leader of the royal guards of Wakanda, really, this lady is a very good actress. I really like the character and how the character how the character is like throughout the story. Okay, so this is not going to be a short video. It's already 8 minutes, but let's carry on because I really feel passionate about this movie. What else? Well, definitely Michael B. Jordan's character, man, he's outstanding in his role. He plays a familiar person in Wakanda, in T'Challa's life. He plays a bigger role than we can imagine. Very important, very relevant, very transcendental, and very fundamental in the storyline, and even very close to the center character, which is T'Challa, played by Chadwick Boseman. Boy, is this guy very good. They gave him a very, very strong, very interesting villain. Now I'm going to go to the other characters before I really enter the other things that I noticed very interesting stuff. And that is, of course, Andy Serkis' character, which is, I think, Ulysses Claw. Very interesting the way they give him certain importance. Definitely very transcendental villain. But it's not like a crucial villain. He's not the crucial villain here. So I know perhaps I should have told you spoilers, but I don't think I'm spoiling you anything really. I'm really making an effort to tell you the strong points which I believe this movie has. Definitely Ulysses Claw is one of them. Andy Serkis did a great job, really just impeccable, being this nemesis of some sort. No, he's more like a villain. But I really like the nastiness and how he plays out his role. Okay. The other would be definitely the one played by Martin Freeman. He's a CIA operative or something like that, and he just gets involved in the middle of all of this, and he's like the uncomfortable character within the whole movie, because I will have to say this, by the way, a great deal of the movie happens within the context of African people. So, well, just per se, he's the only white dude in the movie, and he's uncomfortable in a very not comfortable environment for him. He really has a really hard time, somewhat, yeah, and man, I think he does really good in the role. He knows how to behave within this context. I really applaud this. Also, I'll mention, by the way, Stan Lee's persona here. His cameo is very funny still, but not the best cameo ever. But it doesn't steal anything away from the scene or anything. But he definitely gives us a brief and funny moment, which is wisecracking, very Stan Lee. And what other thing? Okay. I think I really already spoke of the characters. They're the ones that drive the movie. This is the strongest point from my point of view to begin with, are the characters. The very arc of the story is the other one. I really like the way the arc of the story goes, how close, how personal this exactly that what I mean to say. It's a very personal story, very personal story. It really sticks. It really is very up close, very together. Keeps it together within the context. But the best way to explain it, it's very personal. It's a very personal storyline. Okay, now The script, I do think it's very good for the kind of Marvel Cinematic Universe storytelling, story-wise kind of thing. Yes, I think within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it is unique. It's a very different context. It's a very interesting kind of narration. It is very conventional, very like Marvel, very good guy, bad guy. The bad guy wants to take over the world kind of story, which we see usually in superhero movies. The conventionalism of this is the good guy who knows it's not righteous, it's not right for anybody to rise from out of nowhere or from wherever and try to take over the world. That kind of thing I did perceive, I did notice. But I'm going to put that point in the conventionalism of the superhero and the villain thing on its not good side. I mean, not pro, but the opposite of the point, counterpoint. Not bad. It's a bad point. Okay, clear? So I'm sorry, it's a little bit complicated. Trying not to spoil the movie, but really tell you how good of a movie this is, and definitely try to project my enthusiasm about the story. So okay, definitely visually the movie is very good. The movie visually is spectacular. It's brilliant. It's very good. The color of the movie, it has all kinds of colors. It's just amazing. This technology which we see from Wakanda, getting to know Wakanda, it's utterly amazing, outstanding to your view, to the viewer. It's just a spectacle in the way in how they show us and display all of Wakanda's technology and all the capacity they have, from the very fundamental element and resource, which is the fundamental resource which they have, which is vibranium. And it's amazing, and they really tell you that straightforward from the get-go. Okay, you really get from the beginning from where does this all fascinating, complex and thing that they use for all the sorts of kinds of things that they have in Wakanda. It's really good. It's really good. It's very beautiful and magical and spectacular and fascinating. You want to really explore the place. So okay, that's visually. It's a very articulate movie in many ways. Visually, it's a very articulate. It is even wordly, utterly articulate, because the dialogue is very articulate, and the dialogue explains to you a lot of fundamental things and issues and themes, and a lot of philosophy going on. And definitely that's also some of the strong points. Which other thing? Okay, there's this Bond thing. There's this Bond factor in the movie, but I don't think they're forcing it, or they're just doing it plainly for some kind of reason. But the only reason why they have this kind of Bond dish or James Bond kind of situations and stuff going on in the movie, like many say, I agree, there's a James Bond thing, but it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing that they that they have this factor, this James Bond factor. Specifically the scene which I think you've seen in many TV spots and many movie clips, in which they're fighting mostly, and there's this moment where they use a kind of James Bond reference. They have two James Bond references here, and I think the director might have a kind of a thing for James Bond, but they take the character to be a kind of James Bond. T'Challa is a kind of James Bond for a couple of moments, and it's really good. And you really see a lot, some three details that point you out that this is a James Bond kind of thing going on. With Martin Freeman's character being like the CIA and they're playing baccarat or some betting thing going on in the casino, and it is very much like that James Bond movie. Correct me if I'm mistaken. Skyfall. See, in which Daniel Craig as James Bond is using some kind of communication device and talking with Bonnie Penny, and we see the very similar to that scene in the casino in, I don't remember which place of Asia they are in, and James Bond is, well, he's talking to Money Penny. Money Penny at one point uses a line in which he says, "Focus on the mission" or something like that, and this is already a dialogue that they use in that scene with T'Challa being very James Bond like. That is one of the very clear references. Also, there's the scene where T'Challa's sister, younger sister, her youngling sister, tells him in references without using James Bond in the mix, but the fancy movie our father used to like. This is a very subtle reference to James Bond. The very clear reference I already told you is being in the casino and he's all James Bond and all that with the suit and everything and the attitude. Man, so okay. Oof. How many minutes? Okay, well, I did say it right, but I didn't guarantee that I could do them short because it's really fascinating. Many aspects of the movie really caught my attention, but now I'm gonna do it in Spanish because just some people didn't understand and I got very excited talking about Black Panther because I'm really pleased with the result of the movie. I really think I'm going to own this movie when it's on Blu-ray. Maybe just even watch it second time because it's really that good. It really appealed to me. Really, as a viewer, as a Marvel movie fan, I really liked the way they're continuing this kind of very similar story which they did like in Civil War. The way they start with a very some kind of anecdote with characters and apparently making it seem that it's something, but it happened a long time ago or something like that, and they say the explanation of this scene later on, and then you see how transcendental was it to the whole arc of the story, to the whole story and the characters, how very up close and personal this moment was from the beginning of the movie. I really also like the message this movie has, the philosophy it has to speak. There's this call out, this shout out to Donald Trump. It's there when the character of T'Challa, when T'Challa is addressing the United Nations, and he has this opportunity to speak to just the whole world practically over there, and he uses this dialogue which is very instrumental, very beautiful, very wise, in which he says, wise men build bridges, fools build walls. Wow, what an indirect message that was. Very fundamental, very instrumental, very savvy from T'Challa, and really this is where like, whoa, because now we're going to talk about things I almost forgot to point out. Another strong point of the movie is the theme and the philosophy going on back and forth about the Afro-American culture versus the African culture, just like that. And I really don't want to spoil you much about it, but it's kind of like colonialism, and a lot of racial issues and things things having to do with taking over the world, which has to do with the conventionalism of the bad guy wanting to rule the world and take over the world. It has a very interesting thing. It has to do with the complex with one of the characters, which is not a good guy, obviously, and this issue about being isolated from the world versus opening up to the world, reaching out to the world and changing it like such by sharing what you know and your technology, how to use that technology. Also, there is this very interesting after credit scene in which we will see Bucky, better known as the Winter Soldier, and he's with T'Challa's youngling sister. So, there you go, folks. Ok, ahora en español, porque me volé, pero vale la pena hablar de esta película en los aspectos. Decía, bueno, básicamente los personajes es lo principal. De veras, la manera tan personal de ser de esta historia, tan personal, tan parecida a Thor. Very similar to Thor. I have to say, it's very similar to Thor. The Thor arc story, like the thing which the throne thing, about taking over this realm of a world which Wakanda is. That's very, very important to also point out. The thing about the throne and all that, this is very much like Thor and people fighting over a realm, over a throne, a Game of Thrones, by the way. Yes, the reference is right there. A Game of Thrones kind of thing going on, which they fight for a throne. And also, I want to point out, also by the way, the way they somewhat display the culture, the rituals, and all that. It's really magnificent. Ok, así que bueno, decía, este tiene un aspecto de Thor, algo parecido a Thor porque es como Juego de Tronos, es un Juego de Tronos de que luchan por el trono y por el reino y hay una cuestión tribal y que quieren el trono y quién todos se creen, las personas que luchan por este trono de Wakanda pues creen que son los de verdaderos, los que de veras merecen ese trono. Entonces ese es un aspecto cultural, y lo cultural es parte de lo fascinante, de lo interesante que nos muestran, nos exponen mucho de esto. ¿Qué más decía? Bueno, Michael B. Jordan hace un gran trabajo, es uno de los de veras mejores villanos de Marvel, estoy de acuerdo. Tiene una complejidad interesante, peculiar, y tiene algo de no puedo decirles más porque les echaría a perder la película, pero vale la pena, van a entender la importancia y la característica, la cualidad trascendental que tiene él, particularmente en la historia. Pero también es un poco mal porque si hay cierta convencionalidad del villano convencional, quizás. Bueno, y qué puedo decirles, Lupita Nyong'o, nuestra paisana, juega un rol de que no es damisela en apuros, de veras le dan bastante importancia. Igual digo del resto de las mujeres, de veras les dan una preponderancia muy importante, interesante. Andy Serkis creo que cumple bien su rol, hasta donde su rol debía de llegar como villano, y lo hace muy bien del principio hasta el final de su personaje. Pero no juega un villano, no es el Némesis, es otro personaje. Ok, Martin Freeman. Bueno, Martin Freeman de veras que es aquí un agente de la CIA. Aquí le dan más participación a este actor como pues este personaje que no me acuerdo del nombre, por cierto. ¿Qué más? Ah, y bueno, decía que el tema del colonialismo, de esta complejidad, pues, puedes, de otro modo decir, que otro modo decirlo que racial, este rollo del colonialismo, del haber sido conquistado, es algo como el de los mexicanos, hemos tenido en nuestra historia, el conquistado y el conquistador, esta complejidad de identidad, este complejo de identidad, es un tema que creo que esta película lo hace y lo hace brillantemente, de una filosofía muy interesante y muy dual. ¿Qué más? Y bueno, creo que eso dice mucho. Y el mensaje que da al final el personaje de T'Challa ante la ONU sobre que los sabios construyen puentes, los tontos construyen muros. Eso fue una indirecta a Donald Trump. Y vaya que lo hace muy bien. Y bueno, decía el aspecto de James Bond que tiene la película. Como les dije, tipo como la de Skyfall, donde Moneypenny y James Bond se comunican y Moneypenny le dice a él que se concentren en la misión. Um, y bueno, la escena post créditos de Bucky está interesante. Bueno, esos es definitivamente los aspectos que yo vi en Black Panther interesantes y realmente muy poquito que no me pareció favorable, pero en sí es una película de superhéroes de Marvel, pero sí con um, una narrativa, algo, una manera, ¿cómo puedes decir? De dimensionar diferente, de algún modo, es algo muy diferente, en cierto modo, pues porque es otro contexto y otro tipo de mundo, por el tipo de mundo que es el mundo de T'Challa, Pantera Negra, ¿ok? Ok, de esto fue todo por hoy, por... Mientras tanto, queda de ver, porque ya vi la de tres anuncios por un crimen. No les voy a adelantar nada. Yo espero, creo que mañana lo voy a hacer, esa reseña. Mm, so, already seen three billboards outside of Missouri, a very nominated, acclaimed movie starring Frances McDormand, Woody Harrelson, and Sam Rockwell amongst them, and I have seen it, but I'm not telling you just yet. And also, I'm going to watch tomorrow Call Me by Your Name. Ya también voy a ver la de Llámame por mi nombre o algo así se llama. Mañana voy a tener esas dos reseñas, pero son dos películas que se deben de hablar. Las he oído hablar mucho de ellas y sé que están muy aclamadas y voy a dar mi opinión y desde mi perspectiva decirles si sus nominaciones valen tanto como están, ¿ok? So see you the next review, next video. Ciao. Have a great weekend.